Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bling Bling Jam YouTube station. If you're here for the first time, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can hear all the great interviews coming up and information about the convention, along with tutorials, business tips, and more about your balloon biz and entertainment biz and more. With that said, every month we have a complimentary Zoom. If you haven't been on it before, please send us an email with your first name, last name, where you're from, and if you'd like to participate in your one-time complimentary Zoom, so you can check out the Bling Bling Jam if you'd like to attend, whether it's in person or virtual. We'd love you to check us out. So today I have no other than super magician, great person, headliner in Las Vegas who attends the Bling Bling Jam. And we're going to talk to him today about his career and then at the end, why he likes the Bling Bling Jam. No other than Jason Byrne from Las Vegas. And here is Jason. How are you doing today, Jason?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you, Stephen. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So appreciate it. So appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure for us too. We're honored. So, with that said, I just love you to tell everybody what your show is, what your stage name is, and briefly, I know you're in Vegas now, where you started, um, and how many years you've been doing magic, and we'll get into it. That's a lot, I know.
Okay, Jason Byrne. I'm working a couple of shows in Las Vegas at the V Theater, located at Planet Hollywood, Hotel Casino Miracle Mile shops inside the V Theater, doing the Ultimate Variety Show. So it's a variety show. I'm normally the only magician. And then in the afternoon, 3 days a week, I'm doing a show called All Stars of Magic that is almost 1 year running
Oh, wow.
with a group of magicians. So there's five of us total.
How
Cast of
long have you?
five,
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
cast of five magicians: Emily England and her partner Lorenzo Clark, Mondre, Russ Merlin plays the host, and I'm the closing act.
And it's a phenomenal show. I've been several times, thanks to you. Amazing.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
we're having fun over there.
Yes, yes. How long? So you said a year, about a year and a half, the variety show. The other show with you, I know you've been like a headliner, isn't it like over 20 years in Vegas or something like that?
Well, I'm not a headliner. I'm what they call a specialty act or attraction act.
I feel like
I'm
you're a headliner, but anyway.
I'm in a show,
Yeah.
and I'm not the producer. David Sachs Productions. David Sachs is the producer of both those shows,
Okay.
and I've been working for him for 25 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And have you always worked at whatever Planet Hollywood was called before, or was it a different location?
Right. It was called the Aladdin
Hmm.
um, when it was rebuilt. So
Hmm.
it was originally Aladdin. They imploded that. They rebuilt it. It opened as reopened as the Aladdin, and then at one point it changed over to Planet Hollywood.
Got it. So you've been in the same location for all 25 years.
Correct.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Great, great. So, Jason, how did I know this is a good story, but we all have a good one. How did you get started in magic? How old were you? And I know you're from Canada, and tell us like how your magic career got started because everybody wants to know.
I started pretty young. I got a Christmas gift from my grandparents under the Christmas tree. It was a Marshall Brodeen magic prop, little cardboard box that made a sponge bunny disappear and appear. So I was 5 or 6 years old,
Oh, wow.
and which followed with a magic kit maybe the next year. My grandfather knew a magician in Cleveland, and my grandfather would show me a few tricks. And turned out my mother's cousin was sort of amateur part-time magician. Um, Frank Gardina was his name.
Okay.
And my mother sought out locally in Windsor, Ontario, some magicians try to find a teacher.
Uh-huh.
And Jerry Denowith was owned the magic shop in Windsor, which was just several blocks from, our house. But he was still working, so he wasn't in a position to sort of teach me. But he did take me to Colon, Michigan for my first convention. I want to say I was 12 years old. So I went with him and his family. We went to Colon. It was a real eye opener, sort of thinking, wow, what's a convention? Had no idea. Dealer's room competitions, close-up shows, gala shows.
Yeah.
And so it was a real eye opener. And joined the local IBM ring as a teen magician, and was going to libraries to find magic books. But I frequented the magic shop there.
Okay.
And in my mid-teens, I started crossing the border, taking the bus and walking down Woodward down to whatever it was, 9 Mile, and visiting Romig's Magic Shop. Um, and would meet.
Are you dating yourself right now? So I'm joking. Although magic shops are like all closed, that's what I know ours all got closed here too. But that's awesome. No, no. So go on, go on.
So, from my teens, I I took it serious in high school. It was, I got out of high school.
Hmm.
I knew in high school I wanted to try to pursue magic. It was like maybe grade 10. And as soon as I was out of high school, I was seeking more instruction, and I met Brett Daniels at Colon, Michigan, and he was the one who was really sort of instrumental, um, launching me into becoming a professional. I
Sure.
stayed with him for a month and in Los Angeles, and it was a real eye opener. But I had a number of instructors prior to him. I had my first instructor. I was 12 years old. I worked with Johnny Old. He was a children's entertainer. And then I hooked up with Scott Rawlings, known as Stephen Scott, another local magician in Windsor. And those guys showed me everything they could, and were very helpful.
Sure.
And then I got into bird magic. Um, and there was a magician. So the magician who owned the magic shop in Windsor, his name was Jerry Denowith.
Okay.
And so he started showing me some dove magic. And every time there was magic on TV, I was watching it, and saw Lance Burton on the Disney special, and that really helped
Sure.
launch me into doing working with birds.
Oh, nice. So, well, real quick question. Any of those mentors you mentioned, are you still in touch with any of them?
Jerry Denowith has passed away,
Oh, okay.
and but I'm still in touch with Johnny Old and Scott Rawlings, and
Great.
I saw Brett last year at Tony Cassini's International Magic Awards.
Very nice. Very nice. Always good to keep in touch with your mentors. I know I was sharing a story with you about mine, which is always great. Awesome. Jason, so when you started the magic, you said in high school you wanted to get more into it. Were you performing any shows prior to that? Did you start, performing like any birthday parties or anything like that?
I missed all that birthday party and Cub Scout stuff. I think I was just
Yeah,
probably just too scared, and I
sure,
didn't have a show. I was just
sure,
learning tricks. I want to say my first public show was at a church where my mother was volunteering. So it was like a Sunday afternoon where they served breakfast down in the basement, and I performed 5 minutes doing some card manipulation and
sure,
some thimbles, as I recall. It was just 5 minutes.
sure.
And
How
that
old?
was the first performance. So I was in my mid-teens. I might have been
Oh, great,
15,
great.
maybe 16, hand me down tuxedo tails.
Right, right.
And Scott Rawlings was doing a large illusion show, and he took me on as his assistant, and I toured with him 3 times in Canada
Huh?
as his assistant, and I eventually ended up performing a magic act within his show.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
so a lot of experience there.
How
And
old were you then?
that was in high school. I was in
Okay.
high school. I was taking
Okay.
time off from high school, from school to tour with him. So it was like a 3 week tour, the East Coast of Canada. It started in St. John's and might have ended in Fredericton.
Wow. That's amazing. So how long did you do that for? Did you say?
The tour,
Yeah. How long did that
the
last?
tour, I did it 3 years, as I
Years.
recall,
Okay.
and there were 2 3 week tours.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So from there, did you what was your like is that after that is that when you like graduate doing your own thing or like
Well, I met Brett Daniels. I met Brett
yeah.
Daniels. I was 19.
Okay.
And he was, I saw him perform, and he was doing illusions and doing birds. And he was based out of Wisconsin at the time. And he got his big break going out to Los Angeles, working for some producers, doing a show there at the Commerce, I think it was not the Commerce Casino, it was in Gardena.
Hmm.
Beautiful little gem of a casino showroom. And stayed with him for 30 days basically, and he was showing me the ropes and helped me get my tuxedo altered a bit, out of tailors, and so learning all that stuff.
Sure.
And it was about I was t- so about a year after I met Brett, I was venturing out to Los Angeles and made my way to the Magic Castle
Okay.
uh, and was working a place called Wizards and Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach. And so those 3 gigs, Magic Castle, Wizards, and Comedy Magic
You were
Club,
living at that time then you had moved to California?
I was 20, 21.
Wow.
Yeah. hmm Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know anybody, but quickly met some magicians at the Magic Castle, and they were very
Right.
welcoming and helpful. And
Wow. That's all. So how long were you in California for?
several years, a real rat race. And once I got to Los Angeles, the sights were really set on Vegas because that's where, a lot of steady work was.
Yeah.
Uh, there was, a dozen magicians working Vegas
Yeah.
uh,
How
in
did you
production
how did
shows.
that happen then for you? Like from the switch from like being from California to Vegas, how did
Well,
that
I was venturing. I would say while I was in Los Angeles, I was going to Vegas.
hmm
Um, might have been 3 4 times a year, just going on the weekends and checking out shows, trying to meet people and submitting videotapes, submitting VHS videotapes,
Yeah.
and got lucky and scored a 2 year contract with Splash at the Riviera.
Oh wow. Wow. So that was obviously before what you have now. So that's great. That's great. I thought all 25 years in the same place. That's why I didn't get that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So Jason, your kind of career is kind of like amazing because like most magicians, perform a lot before that or don't have those, connections and stuff. So that says a lot about you. And would you say it was that you're kind of like a big dreamer in a sense and just go for what you want, what I'm saying, which is everybody should, right? In terms of where you wanted to be, the illusions and use, the bird acts and all that kind of stuff is uh how would you phrase that in your own words? In other words, like your vision before it all happened, before you went to California. I know you were exposed to some great magicians in Canada touring, obviously that must have did it, and or you had some sort of vision of watching on TV some of these other magicians that mesmerized you. I don't know, but it just in your words, what would you say?
Well, my vision was just being an act. It was never really doing your own show. That sort of came later.
Okay.
Um, And doing your own show is no joke. It's a ton of work.
Yeah.
Playing an act is much easier. And
Yeah.
so that was my vision for, quite some time. And then realized that if you wanted to do more, you would have to do more.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I want to say I was about 26 by the time I did a full show.
Okay. That's awesome.
And it
That's
was on a ship. I want to say I was about 26 years old, and
okay.
went out to Princess cruises and did my first 45 minutes, and it was a
Wow.
challenge. Yeah.
I bet you did great. How long did you do that gig for?
That was a 6 month run in the Mediterranean on the Princess Grand. It was a real eye opener of wow, look at all these ships and beautiful stages, and only having to work one night every 12 days. So it sailed from Barcelona to Istanbul and with a dozen stops, and it was fantastic. I loved it.
Wow. I bet. Wow, that's amazing. Amazing, amazing. I didn't know all this. This is all great. It's every time I interview people, there's always things that come up you just don't know. But I mean, I remember you knowing your name and knowing of you, right? Being a magician in Boston. And I don't know, this is something else about the birds, and I don't know if I asked you this before, and I don't know if there's any correlation to this, but somebody said there is, but I might be wrong. There was another, we were talking about famous magicians of my magic club before earlier today. We were talking, and one of them that was part of my club was a gentleman named General Grant, and he used to color his doves here in Boston. And I had him at the Society of American Magicians holiday party, one of his last performances, before he passed. He was amazing. And then I remember seeing things about you, photos with the different colored doves, and someone said that you picked up from him. I don't know if that's true. 'Cause I don't know what I don't know, but I haven't seen anybody else really colored doves. I don't even know if you do that anymore. But I used to love that. I'm like, oh my God, there's a red dove, a yellow dove. It just got my attention. Um, can you share any of that with me? And is that like how did you learn that? Was it from him or I don't know.
The first magician I saw using colored doves was Jerry Denowith, a local magician
Oh,
who owned a
okay.
magic shop. So he was using doves. He had some colored doves. And I did see General Grant, and I want to say that I met him at Colin. He was performing there at Abbott's,
Yeah.
and I loved his act. He was definitely an inspiration. I mean, super smooth, and
Yes.
had the giant pigeon at the end, a king pigeon, I think it was.
Owl. He had an owl on his show. Well, I don't know
An
if
owl?
yeah, maybe it was a pigeon, but the last show he did for us it was an owl. Yeah.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. I remember it being a king pigeon, but he
Maybe
was
I'm
very nice, and I remember buying some, harnesses and maybe pockets from him, and I
sure.
did correspond with him once, and sort of, as I recall, just it wasn't, I don't know if he wasn't interested or just wasn't in the position of kind of taking me on as a student.
I see.
But I want to say that I found Brett, and Brett was willing, and
Yeah.
off we went with Brett.
Sure, sure. Oh, cool, cool. I know what the color bird thing. I don't know anybody else that does it. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it's such a unique thing to me. I love it. I love it. So, and maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe a lot of people are doing it now.
Well, I'm sure General Grant was one of the early ones. So
Yeah.
was Frank Brent's.
Okay.
Um, but I can't say that I really know the history of coloring birds, but
Yeah.
Jen Grant was definitely, I think, amongst the
Yeah.
first.
Do you do that anymore? Because when I saw your
No, I stopped coloring my birds. I colored all the doves yellow for a long time, but
yeah,
it was during COVID that everything shut down here in Las Vegas, and at the time I was using yellow doves, and I thought, oh, here's here's my break to make the changes that I've been wanting to for quite some time. And so I stopped coloring them during that time for COVID. I just
sure.
let them all go white, and so I've been using white since.
Sure, sure. Okay, cool, cool. Thank you for that. That's something I've been meaning to ask you. That was great. That was great. Um, and I was just chatting with our friend Melanie, who I met you through, which is great. She's a friend of mine from Boston that is a fashion designer, and she does a lot of work for you, and I'm so thankful for that connection. But she tells me that you get up really early to feed a lot of, you have a lot of birds as well. And I know in your act that you had some amazing, like the goose, which I loved. I mean, it was just amazing. And I don't know what if that was a
It's a duck, called duck.
oh, duck. Sorry,
Sort
a
of
duck.
miniature duck. It's smaller than a Peking, but yeah, it's still a duck.
Yes, yes, yes. And my aunt who was sitting next to you, the show could not believe it was real because you had her pet it. It's great. But then you have that big other beautiful bird. My gosh, I don't know what kind of bird that
It's
was.
a blue and gold macaw. That's what I'm using, a parrot. Yep.
Beautiful
Yeah.
bird, beautiful bird. But do you have a lot of other birds that you have that are not in your act that you,
A
Melanie's
few, a
like,
few. I've used some
yeah,
parakeets in the past, and we have the duck here, and the parrot, and um, doves, and there's a cat here.
a cat, yeah.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
he's not in the show. He's not in the show. He's just a house cat.
Sure, sure, sure. Awesome, awesome. Does he get along with the birds?
He's actually scared of those birds, I
Oh, he
think.
is? Oh,
Little
that's funny.
scaredy cat. Yeah,
That's funny. That's great. Is that a lot of work taking care of all those birds?
it sure is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I call it a lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay. She told me
Yeah.
today that you get up really early every day, and I didn't know you were a morning person. She goes, "Oh yeah, he's up taking care of the birds." I go, "Oh, okay." And she was telling me that it takes you several hours. I was like, "Wow." So,
Well, I don't know about several hours, but yeah, we're um, tending to their care in the morning and then also in the evenings. Yeah.
how many do you have?
There's a dozen doves here.
Okay. Great. Great. Awesome. Awesome. And I know you practice all the time, as a lot of magicians do. And Melanie says you practice all the time, which I'm not surprised because you're so good and it shows. And if you guys haven't seen his show is, I'm not just saying this, it's a amazing show. I had the privilege of seeing it a couple times, the variety show. I loved it. And and by the way, some of the other magicians, I know you didn't know they were magicians. A big shout out to Michael Moth. He comes to Bling Bling Jam. He loves your magic show. He was with me in the summer. And Debbie Stevens, who's Canadian, she's does a little magic, more balloons, and she was at your show as well. And my other good friend Walter, who doesn't do any magic at all, he just likes the balloons. He's from Texas, and he loved your show too. But where was I going with that? I just lost my train of thought as I'm giving shout outs to everybody. Well, the practicing. Every magician has a different level of that. And anybody that is doing well in their career should be practicing all the time to get themselves to be on top of their game and just to be kind of like a workout. You know, how often do you practice and do you know around how long? Is it daily and is it hours? I mean, is
Often it's daily,
uh,
yeah, especially when there's deadlines and, if you're going to do a new show or something new, a lot of practice. Yeah, it's becomes part of the daily ritual.
right.
It's not like I'm practicing 8 hours a day or anything. I mean, I sort of used to do that a long time ago,
Mhm.
but I'm rehearsing tricks and effects and routines, and sometimes I'll just recite scripts. So
Sure.
you know, let it become second nature. So when you go to perform, you know those scripts inside and out.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just second nature.
Right. Would you practice in front of a mirror or are you practicing in front of friends?
I have, but I can't say that that's how I practice now. Will use my phone to record practice sessions and
Oh,
study
that's
those.
great. Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Is videotaping, your rehearsals and even live shows. videotape, and study and try to make corrections and improvements and maybe share those videos with some close friends and try to get some feedback and
Sure.
suggestions. Yeah.
That's a good point for anybody who's watching that's an entertainer that either has a balloon show or is a magician as well. Is that sometimes, even though, yeah, ding ding, we all have phones, we all have ways to record it, but sometimes you just don't think about that. So, because then you can kind of hit replay and really get to the nitty gritty as to how you want to improve, or you saw something that was really a good move or good way you reacted, and the biggest part is your showmanship, right? Of how that all appears. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what are you working on now? Is there anything new you're working on with magic?
Yeah, working on new stuff
Yeah.
always. Sort of have committed to some Christmas shows. So going to be doing a Christmas show with a friend of mine for the first time. I wanted to do a Christmas show, Christmas magic show for years, and it's
Cool.
happening this season, I think. So
Awesome.
we're trying to write it out and um, you know make the magic Christmassy.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. That's great. Well, magic is Christmassy in a way. It's that's yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow, very cool. So is that going to be like a whole new magic show or more like the part of the Christmassy part is going to be more like the angle and not necessarily a new show? How would you explain that?
There'll be some new effects, but drawing from the pre-existing repertoire as much as possible, so for comfortability. And we'll just dress it up with, Christmas colors and Christmas music. You'd be surprised at what just, adding some Christmas music will do. Um,
Sure. Sure.
uh, and
That
So,
sounds like fun.
but there's a few new effects, couple new illusions that we're planning on doing.
Sure.
Um,
How many will be in that show?
so there'd be myself, a comedy juggler, and some, female dancer assistants.
Very
Uh,
cool. Not Emily.
no, she's not going on this. She's pretty much planted here in Vegas and
Right.
had several steady gigs.
Right.
Um,
Sure.
so she'll I think she's planning on being in Las Vegas for the winter.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Well, that's cool. I can't wait to hear or see more of the show. It sounds
Yeah,
exciting.
I'll send you the video. I'll send
Oh,
you the
awesome.
teaser.
Awesome. Awesome. I hope that goes really well. Anything else you want to share about what you're working on, or is there anything? Well, let me and with that question before I ask you the next question. Anything else you're working on, or if there's a secret you can't tell us, or I understand, or is there any appearances happening that you can share outside of that?
Well, I'm doing the All Stars of Magic and the The Ultimate Variety Show, and then this upcoming Christmas shows. All that's on the books.
Okay.
Uh, you know,
When are
it,
your shows at the available in Vegas, if you can tell everybody, and where they can go to see you to get tickets as well?
so All Stars plays at 4 o'clock,
Hmm.
and V plays at 7 o'clock, and
How
that's
many days a week?
I'm doing the variety show 5 days a week and the afternoon magic show 3 days a week.
Okay. Does that rotate from the days that they are each week, or is it the same days?
The afternoon magic show is remaining Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, whereas the variety show runs 7 days a week, but I'm only doing 5 nights a week there.
Okay. Who replaces you when you're not there? You're not
Um,
replaceable.
well, it's a variety show, so it's all
Oh, I
variety
see.
acts.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
some
yeah.
circus
That's right.
acts, there's the roll acts, German wheel act, contortionist, handstand act, roller skating act.
Sure.
There's a gaucho act. There's a couple of different jugglers that come into the show.
Sure. Oh, how cool. Got it. I haven't seen the jugglers yet, but that's great. That's great. I don't think I did. That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. Okay. And okay, so they can see that they can go to online and buy tickets and or go right to the ticket booth, right? Right there at the V Theater. There's
Yep.
they can buy them on the do you know the website that people can go to?
Often people will book tickets at vegas.com,
Oh, okay.
but there is V has a website. It's called, I want to say V the Show. Uh,
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's V the Ultimate Variety Show.com, but something like that.
Sure, sure. So the big question is now that you want to learn magic from other people, do you teach magic as well?
I've taught very
I
few,
know you
but
probably don't have a lot of time.
sort of,
Yeah,
just uh, meet some magicians online and maybe do a video call or two, try to offer some
sure,
advice or suggestions, but it's not
sure.
like I've got any serious full-time students at the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
I know you're going to work on a magic shop store online too. Do you have that currently?
Well, sad to say that store was called Ma magicclubstore.com,
Right.
and I don't think it's up and running
Okay.
at this time. It was for a number of years, sort of got it going around COVID, but I don't know. The web designer guy said, updates and this and that, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's up there. Disappointing.
Right.
I'd
Right.
like to try to get it going again, but
Yeah.
can't say I'm very computer savvy when it comes to being able to do that on my own.
Right. Right. Love to help you with that. Well, let's not that I'm computer savvy, but but I think you have some good things to offer. So, and I think people watching would want to support you, and that's always good. And also, whatever, I don't know what magic kits or whatever it is that you have, but I think it will all be great. Okay. So, is there anything else that is there anything that, well, let me get to that in a second. I had this conversation with Jason before the we went recording here, and I have his number obviously, and it says Jason Cunningham. I go, Jason, is Jason Byrne not your real name? And the truth is, it is, but it's part of that. And also, in this show, you say you're from Switzerland. I'm like, wait a minute, you're from Canada. Can you explain those two things so people understand?
So I was born, birth name is Jason Byrne Cunningham, and
Yep.
sort of been going by Jason Byrne since my late teens. Um, and so I was born in Switzerland and raised in Canada.
Awesome. Awesome. So there's no confusion. I was confused on that. So that's great. So, okay. And then is there anything that in your life of magic right now that is a dream of yours to do or perform someplace that you haven't done yet that's on your so-called bucket list of your
Mhm.
dreams in terms of where you want to go and or explore.
There's definitely some gigs I'd like to be doing at one point. There's always been this venue, and I think it's in the border of France and Germany. It's called Kerweller, and there's a place called Royal Palace there that, produce shows,
Hmm.
if not seasonal, yearly. Um, I've been wanting to work that place for quite some time, and a long time ago, it came close to happening, but can't
Really?
quite remember what happened. But it didn't come through, and but I still have my sights set on getting back to Europe and trying to pursue that venue. I like that. Uh,
Sure.
uh,
So that's kind of that's on your bucket list and
that's one of the bucket list. Maybe that's just a pipe dream. I don't know, but I'd like to work that place.
sure.
But I'm quite happy here in Las Vegas. I like the climate here.
Yeah.
The Mecca's here. It's a lot of magicians and magic shows and magic shops.
Yeah.
Um,
I can
and
see
close to
why.
Los Angeles, so not far from the Magic Castle.
Do you
Uh,
still perform there sometime, by the way?
I haven't performed at the castle since 2006,
Oh,
so
okay.
quite some time already, 20 years.
Okay. Do you ever work in Los Angeles anymore? You probably don't have time, but
A few, what they call corporate gigs here and there, but not often.
okay, okay, cool. Anything else you want to share? It's been great. It's always good to talk and hear from somebody like you and well anybody, you know what I'm saying? But your career is really actually not like anybody's. It's very unique and I'm a fan if you can't tell.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
no, it's ama you're amazing. Anything else you want to share with people? Or let's say what advice? I know everybody with magicians, it's so funny, and or balloon people are trying to create a show. Everybody has their thing, like and again, people are watching this. Magicians know this, but not everybody that has or just getting started may understand it. You have your niche areas that you like, either card magic, or you like illusions, or you like corporate stuff, or you like kids parties. You know, what I'm saying whatever areas, but what advice would you kind of give to somebody watching you? Because other people are looking at you like, wow, this guy made his dreams come true. He just did it. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, I got lucky.
yeah, you think that's lucky?
Well, I mean, a big part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely got lucky.
Okay.
Timing and all that stuff.
Sure.
Uh,
Sure.
but my advice would be to, try to find someone who can help guide you.
Hmm.
Um, a good teacher is
Right.
instrumental, I think.
Right. Right. There's a lot of how do I say this, but it's sounding right. As you know, there's a lot of people that want to teach, but I don't think they're good teachers. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
and again, they not if nothing against them. We learn something from everybody for sure, but finding that right good teacher and that has your back and really knows their stuff between the showmanship, the performance, and success, I think all has to do with something. I know, like in the balloon world, right? In the magic world too, as I'm a magician too, there's a lot of wannabes. Okay, and nothing against them. About as people, right? It's just that they are not necessarily where you want to be. Not, you know what I'm saying, in terms of getting to that level of knowing their stuff and having walked that walk. And it sounds like you definitely understood that in terms of who you hooked up with, but they were doing it and they were doing pretty well at it. But would you agree with that statement? And anything else you want to add to that?
Well, I think, like you said, you can learn from everybody, even
Yeah,
even beginners and amateurs, may
100%.
say something that's interesting and get you thinking. But so I think that, a good advice is to be sought, just about anywhere. You just have to filter it, right?
Well, you obviously hooked up with the right people. So I think you kind of,
I've had a lot of help, definitely.
yes, you will obviously, a mentor is key and the right mentors are key. So you definitely did do that. So that's great. That's great. And people watching this may want to be mentored by you one day. So, you know, it's all always works. I had a mentor too, as you know. I just visited him. He's 97 years old when I met him when I was 10, which is amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, anything else that we missed or that you want to share about your career that you want people to know and or people that are trying to create a show, what advice you give them or anything else you want to share about yourself?
Nothing comes to mind, especially just, if you were looking at trying to do your own show, just, probably keep at it, just you know, um, try to try to meet up with some people who you think might be able to help you. I've got help here. I
Yes.
can't say it necessarily teachers. They're more of my friends here, but there's some
Yeah.
great local magicians that have been very helpful.
Networking. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Agreed. I know that I had chat with you with my friend Mickey Silver, and I did talk to him the other day. Well, I was messaging him. He does know you, and he's a fan. He's a great guy, by the way, and he's another person that loves to network. And there's always great magicians and great balloon artists that like to do that. It's always good to do that because even a conversation, you learn so many things from each other. It's just amazing to me. So anyway, this has been great, Jason, and I appreciate you taking your time to share with everybody, your career and who you are and what you've done in magic. And I look forward to you sharing your holiday show and I'm going to claim it for you getting that show on the France and Germany border. I think that you'll get that. Visualize it, and you can make it happen. I know you can. So it's good stuff. And you guys, I know that it's hard to talk about yourself, as I know that, but I'm telling you right now, his show's really worth it. Definitely go check him out. It's everybody. It's a great show. When you walk through that V area, it's like walking through a mall. It's kind of like, wait a minute, the show's over here. So it's kind of like a hidden area, if you will. But I really like the theater though. It's amazing. And once you check it out, you'll want to go back. And it's the whole show is just really, really worth it for the whole family. And I think that you guys will really enjoy it. Definitely seek Jason out. Jason, I know you attend the Bling Bling Jam, and we so appreciate you coming. And I don't even know what balloons you do if you do any balloons, but I know a lot of magicians do balloons.
I
But
do the classic dog.
that's how we all did. All right. The one we call that the one balloon zoo, and that's how we all started. It's funny, a lot of the balloon artists now there's balloon conventions. I will tell them, do you understand that back in the day it was out of a book, you had to go to a magic shop to buy the balloon and the balloons in the balloon book, and that's how it was. And but a lot of them don't understand that. But it's true. So most of the magicians always made the classic dog and the basic one balloon zoo, as we call it, and things have definitely evolved. And we love you coming to Bling Bling Jam every year. We so appreciate you attending, you and Merlin. And what would you say to people watching, in your own words, about why you think they should attend the Bling Bling Jam? And I know you're always busy because you're working, but you come in, you go out, but you're there and you do some networking, and why you think it's worth people's time and effort to go.
Well, looks great over there. I mean, dealers and workshops, it looks like, you know, people that are like-minded and all sorts of innovative balloon tools, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, who doesn't like balloons? There's something wrong with you if you don't like any balloons.
absolutely. I don't know if it's you or Merlin every year. Is you guys buy balloons at it? I think I forget. Is it Merlin or is it you?
Yeah, he buys more than I
Guys, a
do.
lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it. Got it. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. It's been great chatting with you. And you guys, make sure you give Jason a heads up and show him some love on this video. And I'm sure he'll read the comments. And again, are you on social media where people can look you up?
I'm on Facebook and
Okay.
Instagram, but I can't say I'm terribly active posting. I'm more
Sure.
of doing private messages on those platforms
Sure.
and
Sure. People
watching
can send you a
videos.
message if they want to reach you, though, right?
Right.
Awesome. Please do seek him out. And I don't know if he'll be at this year's Bling Bling, but he'll be at Bling Bling again. He's always there. I believe Merlin will be there. And come see him. And thanks so much for the interview, you guys. And again, give him a thumbs up. And again, if you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell. Let's do it so you won't miss any interviews and more stuff to come. Thanks so much, Jason. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Stephen.
Let's
Thank you.
bling it on, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.